It's Nelson from TechGeekNelson.com, and today I'm giving my first impressions of the Google Home smart speaker. I'm pretty sure most of you guys already know what it is and what it does, but I've been using it for the first time for about 2 weeks now, and I actually love this thing. It is pretty damn small. It's about the size of a Red Bull can, but one of the cool things that I like is that you can snap off the cover. You can change them, and by now you probably saw you can change it to purple, red, whatever color you want. It has that modern feel to it, so even if your apartment is crappy, the Google Home will fit nicely. So when you take off the cover, you can see the 3 subwoofers, 1, 2, and 3. And on the bottom, there's a micro USB port, but you can't use that. And there's your mute button. So now I have the speaker plugged in to the wall outlet. It takes about a minute or two to start up, but after it's fully on, you'll hear that little sound, and that means you're pretty much ready to go. So far, I've been using it for about 2 weeks, as I said before, and during that time, I was sick, my voice was terrible, and it still recognized my voice. But even then, I don't even have to yell at the speaker for it to recognize me, so I could just casually say, "Okay, Google, tell me a joke."
This might make you laugh. My friend once got an invite to a party that said, "black tie only," but when he got there, everyone else was in tuxedos.
Okay, I didn't really get that joke, but you get the idea. So you might have noticed it was a little bit low. Let me go ahead and turn it. Go ahead and put it just a little bit louder. Now I can also tell Google to lower the volume or raise the volume, which is pretty handy. So I can ask it a question like, "Okay, Google, what's 50 divided by 3?
The answer is approximately 16.667.
So it's pretty fun asking it random things like, "Okay, Google, what's the weather like for tomorrow?"
Tomorrow in New York City, there will be scattered showers with a high of 70 and a low of 61.
And it's also worth noting that if you have a Google Chromecast, you can tell the Google Home to play Netflix or play a YouTube video to your big screen. I don't have any of that. I don't have any of the smart light bulbs. I don't have any of those gadgets that interact with the Google Home, but I will eventually, and I think that's why this is worth getting. It's worth noting that you can only use Spotify with Google Home if you have a premium plan, but you can get the first month free, so that's not an issue. So using Spotify on Google Home is pretty fun. I can say almost anything and it will recognize it. I can say, search for a playlist, an album, or an artist, and for the most part, it gets it right. So, for example, "Hey Google, play some chill music."
Okay, here's a Spotify playlist called Chill Out Music.
That's pretty cool. "Okay Google, pause." So, without touching it, I can also pause the music by tapping on the Google Home like this. Just a simple tap. That's all it needs. "Hey Google, what's the #1 song on Spotify?"
Here's a summary from the website Forbes.com. Major Laser's global smash Lean On has surpassed Ed Sheeran's Thinking Out Loud to become the most listened to song ever on Spotify. The new champion has just over 100,000.
Okay, I get it. So I didn't know how I was gonna go, but it was pretty cool that Google was able to give me a very specific answer. Surprisingly, this tiny speaker packs a big punch. It has the 3 subwoofers, and I feel it. I feel that bass when it's on my table. It shakes, and it is surprisingly good. And it gets even better because you can link up multiple Google Home speakers, so I can have 2 in a room, or I can have 1 in each room, and that will just fill up the entire apartment or house with music. It is awesome. So let's try and give a good example of how good the speaker is. Play mellow beats.
Sure, here's the Spotify playlist called Mellow Beats.
"Okay, Google, play Drake."
Alright, here's Drake on Spotify.
"Okay, Google, play The Weeknd."
Alright, here's The Weeknd on Spotify.
That's not The Weeknd. Okay. Let me turn it off before I get hit with a copyright claim. So that is the Google Home. It's more fun to have this if you have all the smart lights and the smart switches, so that you can not just control your music, but control your entire house. And I think the really cool thing about the Google Home is that it's only been out for probably less than a year, and it's getting better. They're adding new updates, and there's more accessories that go along with it. The smart home lineup is getting bigger like every month. There's something new coming out. So that is the Google Home. It gets a big thumbs up for me. Let me know in the comments if you guys like the Google Home, if you have one, or let me know in the comments if you like the Amazon Echo better.